What up, traders? What up, investors? Ken here from Dyslexic Investor, and thank you for tuning in for another fantastic video. We're going to be looking at the halting, the stopping of the record IPO that was basically from Alibaba, or what I always call Alibaba, but Alibaba with the ANT IPO. This again is stepping in the day of the IPO, of halting on Tuesday, basically just saying, now the regulators are needing some other paperwork. It's very unclear on what is happening here with the stoppage of this IPO going public. That's basically the billion-dollar question here. I'm just trying to figure out what the flip-flop is going on here, because it doesn't make very much sense. As you can see here, it's a very surprise. It's blindsiding a lot of the bankers. They're talking about there's going to be giving back money to some of the early stage investors and things like that. This is still a very unclear what is happening here on this. Like basically, again, it was supposed to be one of the larger IPOs of all time, and I kind of really going through the Ant Group sincerely apologize for all your inconvenience caused by this deployment. The company said as message to investors, we will have properly handled the follow-up matters and consumer regulations to the two stock exchanges. So again, the stock was supposedly go IPO public on those two different exchanges. Of course, that did not happen due to a large question mark. So some other folks are going on the street on saying basically the $37 billion listing for largest IPO ever. Basically, interview here with Mr. Jim Cramer saying you should buy some Alibaba on the dip here due to, again, we have singles days coming out on November 11th. If you're not familiar with singles days, that's basically the same sense of Prime Day here in the US. So let's go ahead and flip over to the chart. You can see here on some Fibonacci retracements here, jumping right into the daily chart here. Again, it has earnings coming out on the 5th before the bell, before the market. So on the 5th, so you have to get your trades in by tomorrow of the close. This thing looks like it's fairly poised. Again, was trading very well, and of course this has really just kind of given it a really sharp haircut, and now we're seeing it again. It was holding that yellow line, which is the 21 EMA. It broke through that, and now it's trading well below that, kind of finding somewhat support around that 285 level, which is again a Fibonacci retracement at 618 move from the previous swing high to low. And of course this didn't click where I wanted to. Let's see here. There we go. Coming into that 285 here, again, that 618 we talked about. With this large move down, this is, again, we could see some more selling tomorrow, even to the next day. But that being said, we're looking for the potentially see some support here strongly around 280. If that doesn't hold, again, that can go all the way down to around that 272 to even lower to basically to the 144, which is around 260. Again, there's still so many question marks currently here in the market on what happened, why is this not going through, is there something fundamentally wrong, or God only knows what the issue could be. But that being said, this is an opportunity, I believe, alongside on potentially adding some of this to your portfolio or starting just a small position. We are seeing, again, some more negative aspects. If we start seeing the 5 and 8 cross through the 21 and we're not seeing any kind of more selling, again, we could see some more selling in the next coming days, because this just happened today. So it's going to take a little bit to kind of go through the news cycle and get in everyone's ears and minds of what happened here. And then you see the overall emotional reaction to that in the stock in the next 2 or 3 days. And hopefully after those 2 or 3 days that we see some balancing here. So we can draw some rectangles here to kind of see some balancing here, kind of holding this particular pattern here and seeing how it plays out. Again, with the hindsight of like, hey, earnings coming up, and that could be adding much more of a coin flip into the market. So that, again, could add some more overall selling pressure going forth, or can stop the bleeding and just really flip the switch and go completely back up to 300. With this being said, again, very large downside surprise move, even right before earnings. Still no answer on why or how that IPO didn't go through. Anyways, so just go ahead and start focusing on the next coming weeks, especially with Alibaba having singles day, which is a great catalyst at times. Not saying it was it was priced in, because again, you saw the chart really holding that 21 EMA, which is the low line. Again, was holding it quite substantially well compared to all the other companies that we've seen selling off the last couple weeks and last week and a half due to the overall fluctuations within the market, the economy, the election, and then of course the pandemic of seeing other countries start shutting down their borders. On the weekly side, this thing looks like it's still a very strong candidate. We are seeing some support with the parabolic SAR dots around 277. So that's going to be a key level of support. But this thing can come all the way down to, like we talked about, 270 and still have that overall support going forth with the 21 EMA on the weekly side. So that being said, be very careful out there, trade smart, and I hope to see you guys on the flip side. Peace.